learn about management. Sangsaran says employable. Navnita says better career. Krupa says degree. Praful Trivedi says understanding of management. Ali Adil says brief knowledge of the business. Girish Nair says better life. Very nice. Rutuja says upper hand in my own field. Nisha Patel says hone skills for better career prospects. Sham Kumar Shukla says manage office hours more efficiently and professionally. Wonderful answers. All of you wonderful answers, and all of your answers are absolutely relevant. But I want to take you through a very different perspective. The perspective of a professor, the perspective of as someone who has worked in the corporate sector for the last 23 years. I want to tell you what is exactly happening in the corporate world. I know that some of you may already be working professionals. Some of you may be students, undergraduate students. Some of you may be working professionals. So just to give you a perspective, friends, we are surrounded in a VUCA world. And VUCA is an acronym for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Volatility means nothing remains constant. The only thing that is constant in our today's business world is change, you see. Let me give you a very simple example. In the year 2020, when the first announcement of the pandemic was announced, did anybody have any idea that they're going to be remaining in their residences for a very long period of time, that they will have to get acclimatized to a new way of living for a very long period of time, that they will have to one day work from home? Did any one of you had any idea before the onset of the pandemic? Yes or no? So obviously the answer is no, right? Because nobody, not even medical experts, had any idea about the onset of the pandemic. But the pandemic did happen and our lives changed forever. Our lives have changed since then. And there are new ways of working have been identified, right? So we are living in a volatile world where nothing is constant. We are also living in uncertain times. Can anybody predict in the classroom when the pandemic will end? Can you give me a date? Can you give me a guarantee that on so and so date there will be zero infections in the world? Is it possible for us to predict the future? Obviously, the answer is no, isn't it? It's next to impossible. Infections continue to soar everywhere. It's also a very complex world, you see. And one example of complexity which I want to give you is, if you want to place an order for a laptop, and God forbid if the delivery of the laptop gets delayed, there could be several reasons why the laptop delivery is getting delayed. Maybe the place where it is assembled, a country like China, maybe there is a lockdown announced in China and hence nobody is visiting the factory. None of the workers are turning up and hence they are not able to assemble the laptop and hence the laptop is not ready for shipment. This is one example of complexity. We don't know where our source materials are coming from and hence the environment is very, very dynamic. We are living in an interdependent world, you see. I was just yesterday reading a newspaper article about Boeing, the aircraft. You know, Boeing is an American manufacturer of aircrafts, isn't it? And what was very interesting is they have actually shown a photograph of a Boeing aircraft and they have shown where all do the spare parts come from. And you will be surprised to know that there are thousands and thousands of spare parts coming from different parts of the world. There is a small town in Italy from where some parts come. There is a